I think in South Australia also, just to conclude, there's a number of events occurring, and I wanted to mention Monsignor Capo as well. Look, the preeminent mental health group in this country is always headed up by an extremely significant figure, and that's been the way it has been right through history. And there's a history of bipartisan support for the position and for very, very rigorous evaluation of what we're doing in mental health. My great concern is that right now it's fairly obvious in South Australia that elements of social inclusion and Aboriginal policy are in tatters. And I just do ask the Prime Minister, if we are not a nation that simply picks and chooses people on whim or catching of the eye, what Monsignor Capo's record is of social inclusion in South Australia. Directly part of his responsibility, if you read the website, is Aboriginal policy, and we've seen the meltdown around Ceduna, and we've seen the state of the APY Lands. And I'd ask the simple question, what was Monsignor Capo's record that allowed him to be appointed to this position if he hasn't been doing the previous one effectively? It's my great concern that Labor will simply promote their own regardless of merit, and there's no better example of this than what's happening in South Australia. Hard questions need to be asked. You can't be a social inclusion commissioner and leave the place as bad or worse than the way you found it. If you do, I don't see why you should be promoted to a national position.
And the Treasurer's moved to have the RBA pay set by the Remuneration Tribunal. Do you think this is about time?
I wouldn't comment on that. I'll leave that to our Treasury spokesman. Thank you. Cheers.